Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa podcast and welcome to Transfer Hub, your home of Aston Villa's news, breaking news, signings, rumours, you name it. This is the place to be this summer. So I come bearing some bad news. Ashely Young will be leaving Aston Villa when his contract runs out, I guess, in a couple of weeks with immediate effect. Ashely Young is no longer an Aston Villa player, so we know that Young wanted to stay. He mentioned that he wanted to stay on the pitch at full time on Sunday, but we knew that there was going to be a meeting between Unai, Johan Lang, and Ashely Young, and the decision was going to be made this week. And they've made the decision that Ashely Young now is surplus to requirements. And I think it's really sad in the sense of he's an absolute legend at Villa. He's an absolute fantastic player. He had a phenomenal season for Aston Villa. And it just feels like maybe he could have been a part of the European tour next season. But I understand completely Unai Emery's thinking, and I understand the thinking of, and this is going to sound probably a little bit harsh, but we're going in a direction, and that direction is one direction, and that is upwards. And I'm not saying for 1 second that, Young needed to go, because I think he'd done a brilliant job this season. But I think Unai's looked at it and thought, we need better. And that sounds harsh. It's not a very nice thing to say, is it? But I just think that's the truth. I think Unai's looked at it and thought, potentially we needed to get a new right back anyway. We don't know what the system's going to be. It might stick the same. It might not be. But that right back has an integral role at Villa, doesn't it? Under this current system in which we play. It tucks in. It sits deeper. It's not as attacking. The left side actively acts as a winger. So it is sort of a specialised right back position. I think, yeah, it's just a shame. It's just a shame that he's leaving. It's a shame that he's left in. But I think I've got to look at it and be thankful and think, you know what? Look what he did. We was in Europe the first time round, and he helped fire us into Europe the second time round. So I think mission accomplished. Mission accomplished for Young. He did absolutely amazing. He's a true professional. Hopefully, maybe he could potentially come back as a coaching role further down the line, whether it's under 18s, whether he's doing his coaching badges. If that's something he wants to do, I'd love to see him in and around Villa, maybe if being given that opportunity. But I think this shows to me that what we're all about this summer. And again, it does sound harsh, but there's no time for sentiment, is there? Under Unai Emery, he's a complete grafter, workaholic. He wants the best. He wants us to be in the Champions League. So we are only going to sign the top bracket players. And unfortunately, I do feel like whether it's this season or might be next season, that there may be fan favourites. There may be players that you really like, but unfortunately, Unai, he's not having it, and I think I think that's honestly where it's at. I'm gutted he's gone because of the player that he is, that what he's brought to Villa, what he's brought in that dressing room. But if Unai feels like we need to move on, then I 110% back whatever Unai's cooking behind the scenes. So let's have a little look then at Ashely Young at Aston Villa. So first time round, 2007 to 2011, he played 157 games, scoring 30 goals, which led him on to a move to Manchester United. He then went on to Inter Milan, where he won the league, and then he came to Villa. He spent 2 seasons at Villa now, and he has scored 1 goal in 53 games. So, you know, he's been brilliant this season. He's brought desire, he's brought an attitude, he's brought a commitment, he's brought a mindset, which we haven't had for a while. And I can imagine in the dressing room, it would have been integral to getting us into Europe. So I think he's been fantastic. So for score, I have him as 6.86 this season. Heat map, as you can see, heavy in his own box. That's the defensive role that he's been playing for Villa. He started 29 games. He started 23. He's played 29. He's averaged 70 minutes per game. If we have a look at some of his defending, accuracy per game, 78%. In his own half, 87. Opposition half, 65. Clean sheets, 8. Tackles per game, 1.7. Clearances per game, 2.1. He's won 63% of his ground duels and 56% of his aerial duels. So I know there's going to be a lot of you in the comments that are like really, really gutted, and that's really understandable, because maybe he could have been around for 1 more year and just experienced the whole Europe thing. I think that would have been a really fitting thing to happen. But we can't, on the other hand, we've got to move on, haven't we? I think if that's what Unai is going to do. So it does look like there will be a right back coming in. Whether that's a right back or we go with maybe a centre back coming in and then shift Konsa to right back, and then we move it around like that. So right back now looks really, really interesting, and it's pretty telling now that it looks like there will be a right back coming in this window. So Villa fans, let me know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on Ashely Young leaving? Drop your comments down below in the comment section. Hit a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel. Up the Villa.